The day began like any other on the USS Sampson, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer patrolling the Eastern Pacific. The crew was alert, scanning for illegal activity in a region notorious for drug trafficking. Deep inside the ship, in the Combat Information Center, sailors monitored radar and sonar. Suddenly, a young sailor spotted a fast-moving blip on the radar. No identification signal, moving too quickly for a fishing boat. The watch officer was notified and quickly recognized the suspicious behavior. He ordered the Sampson to change course and intercept. The destroyer turned smoothly, closing in on the mysterious contact. Tension rose in the CIC. Everyone knew this could be the real thing. The captain arrived, watching the screens as the blip sped north, unaware it was being tracked. On deck, the crew prepared for action. The ship's mission was clear: enforce the law on the high seas. Tonight, that mission was about to get real. The small blip on the radar was now the center of their world. The hunt had begun, silent and unseen, miles from shore. Every move was precise, every decision critical. The crew's training kicked in, they were ready for whatever came next. The CIC buzzed with quiet urgency as the Sampson closed the gap. The suspect vessel was still moving fast, oblivious to the warship's approach. The captain gave a nod. It was time to escalate. The next phase would require speed, coordination, and nerves of steel. The crew braced for action, knowing the smallest mistake could mean disaster. The destroyer's presence was a warning. The law was coming. The blip was no longer just a mark on a screen, it was a target. The team was ready to move. The chase was on. The ocean, vast and empty, had just become a battleground. The captain ordered the launch of the Seahawk helicopter. On the flight deck, the crew sprang into action, unchaining the MH-60R Seahawk. The helicopter's engines roared to life as pilots ran through final checks. The Seahawk is the ship's long-range eyes, fast, agile, and packed with sensors. The destroyer can't catch a go-fast boat, but the helicopter can. Lifting off, the Seahawk raced low over the waves, hunting its target. Inside, pilots used infrared cameras to spot the suspect boat's hot engines in the dark. They quickly found the go-fast, low in the water, engines roaring, heading north at high speed. The helicopter relayed real-time updates to the Sampson. Now the captain had a clear picture, a real vessel, real people, likely carrying millions in drugs. The CIC tracked every move, plotting the chase. The first phase was complete. The target was identified and tracked. The helicopter's presence changed everything. The smugglers were no longer invisible. The chase was about to get dangerous. The crew prepared for the next step. The operation was moving fast. The hunt was on. The Seahawk closed in, hovering above the fleeing go-fast boat. Over the radio, the crew broadcast a warning in English and Spanish: "Stop your vessel immediately." The smugglers ignored the order, pushing their engines to the limit. The helicopter easily kept pace, shadowing the desperate escape. The next step: escalation without unnecessary harm. With the captain's authorization, a crewman opened the side door and fired warning shots into the water ahead of the boat. The message was clear: stop, or force will be used. The smugglers refused to yield. The marksman took careful aim and fired at the outboard engines. Sparks flew. One engine sputtered, then another. The go-fast boat slowed, dead in the water. The chase was over. The smugglers raised their hands in surrender. The helicopter circled overhead, ensuring compliance. The threat of escape was gone. The vessel was secured. The boarding teams prepared to move in. The most dangerous part was over, thanks to the helicopter crew's skill. The operation had shifted from pursuit to capture. The ocean was quiet again, but the adrenaline remained. The team's training had paid off. The smugglers' run was finished. The next phase, boarding, was about to begin. The law had caught up. With the smugglers' boat disabled, the USS Sampson launched its RHIBs. Fast, sturdy boats perfect for boarding. A mixed team of Navy sailors and Coast Guard Ledette sped toward the target. The Coast Guard brings the legal authority, the Navy brings the muscle. The first RHIB approached cautiously, weapons ready. The team boarded quickly, securing the suspects and searching for weapons. Safety was the top priority. With the suspects restrained, the evidence team boarded. They found what they were looking for: dozens of plastic-wrapped bales. A quick field test confirmed it: cocaine. The team documented everything: photos, bail counts, detailed records. Chain of custody was critical for prosecution. Over a ton of cocaine was seized, worth $58 million on the street. The smugglers were brought aboard the Sampson, given food, water, and medical care. The drugs were secured as evidence. The operation was a textbook success. Every team member played a vital role. The partnership between Navy and Coast Guard made it possible. A massive shipment was stopped cold. the streets back home would be safer. The mission was far from over, but the hardest part was done. The team had delivered. The legal handover is crucial. The Navy can stop and search, but only the Coast Guard can prosecute. The Ladette team, operating under Coast Guard authority, takes custody of suspects and drugs. The process is formal. Rights are read, evidence cataloged, paperwork completed. This bridge between military action and civilian law ensures justice holds up in court. Suspects are held securely and humanely on the Samson until transfer. The Ladette prepares reports and evidence for trial. The separation of military and law enforcement roles is fundamental. Navy projects power, Coast Guard enforces the law. Their cooperation is seamless, protecting both justice and democracy. Together, they keep the seas and the nation safe. With drugs and suspects secured, a new problem remained: the empty go-fast boat. Towing it back was impractical and dangerous. Leaving it adrift would create a hazard for other ships. The decision scuttled the boat. A team returned, cut holes below the waterline and ensured pollutants were handled safely. Water poured in, the boat slowly sank beneath the waves. The hazard was gone, the ocean safer. Scuttling is a practical, symbolic act, removing a tool of crime from the sea. The operation ended as the boat disappeared into the deep. The crew watched, knowing their actions made a difference. The ocean was a little cleaner, a little safer. The mission was complete. The team had done their job. Stopping a $58 million drug shipment is a major victory. Every seizure saves lives and disrupts criminal networks. These missions are about more than drugs. They protect people and uphold the law. The Navy and Coast Guard partnership is the key. The Navy brings reach and power, the Coast Guard brings law enforcement expertise. Together, they're a force multiplier. Their cooperation is a model for interagency success. Far from home, these men and women stand guard, facing real risks to keep us safe. The fight against drug trafficking is constant and global. The story of the USS Samson is just one battle in an ongoing war. As long as smugglers use the sea, the Navy and Coast Guard will be there. Their watch never ends. They are a shield against a determined threat. The mission continues.